Guys, we have some integration to do here. So we want to integrate by substitution. Okay, so a lot of times or some other places you see u-substitution, for example. So in this case, we have integration of u prime times u dx. Just means that as you're going to have the problem, you have to determine if you have the derivative of the function that you are solving for. Okay, so is one of them is a derivative and then the other one is the actual function. So that's the reason why I have that there. So let's take a look at this problem here. So we have integral of cosine of x squared 2x times 2x dx. So we're looking into seeing the pattern of having a u prime times u. Okay, so is there anything like that you can see? So that means you have to know your derivatives, ladies and gentlemen, right? So as you can see, x squared here, the derivative of that is what? 2x. So that's pretty much, a format that we're looking at, which is, that's great. So let's go at it. So we have u, then so we're going to set up u, as x squared, and then we're going to have to find the derivative of it, right? So that would be then the du, so the derivative of that is what? 2x dx. Okay, so that gives a du is equal to 2x dx because the derivative of x squared is 2x. So that's dx. But what are we solving for here? So we're definitely solving for dx because the same dx we're going to substitute it back in there. So what will give us dx? So dx is going to be what? Du over 2x. Right? And then once we get that, now we can take this, we come back here. Then we have integral of cosine. So we say cosine, so x squared is what? X squared we said is u, right? So it's u here, okay? That's why we call it u substitution again, all right? So we have that, and then 2x times 2x, and then dx is what? Dx is du over 2x. That's what we have here, right? Dx equals to du over 2x. So once you do that substitution, okay? Once you do that substitution, there should be terms that you have to cancel. What can we cancel here? 2x, 2x out. So we end up with, so this one is equal to, then we have cosine u of u du. Okay, so now we can find the integral of cosine u is what? Is just sine u. All right, plus c, right? Don't forget. Okay, so we have an indefinite integral here, so that would be plus c. Okay, because we don't know what c is equal to. So then, don't forget that you set up u to be what? U to be x squared. So because u has to be x squared, you're not finished. So you can set up sine x squared plus c, and this will be your final answer. Okay, so this is just a reminder of us when we're doing integration by substitution. We call it also u-substitution, for example. All right, so let's take the second problem here, which is integral of cosine of sine of x times cosine x dx. So here also we have to determine what is going to be our u. So it's just a matter of which one of the functions is going to be your u, and then you're going to find the derivative of that, like we did it here. So we have cosine of sine of x, cosine x here. So u is going to be sine of x here. Okay? So our u is equal to our sine of x. All right? Then to find the du, that will give us what? The derivative of sine x, which is cosine of x, then dx. Never forget about writing the dx, okay? So because we're looking for dx, so dx is going to give us what? Du over cosine of x. Okay? And then again, we come back here. Ladies and gentlemen, now you're going to substitute. Okay? Now you're going to substitute. All right? So it's going to give us cosine of sine of x, we say is what? Is u. Okay? Times cosine of x. And don't forget about dx. Dx now is what? Dx now is du over cosine of x. Mr. Gentlemen, we good? All right. And then once we get to that part, so what's going to happen? Can we simplify anything? Because you always got to look into simplifying something. We can simplify these two. All right? So that gives us what? Cosine of u, then du. Okay? And what is now the integral of cosine of u? It is the same thing as sine of u. Okay? And then we say plus c. Let's don't forget about that. Plus c. Okay? So now, what is u? Do not forget about that, because a lot of times people forget. Now you do this, you're happy. We are so happy that we forget that we got to go back into substituting the u again, because we set up u to be what? Sine of x. So because we set that up to be sine of x, so this one here is sine of x. So sine of x plus c. All right? And this will be then our final answer. Okay? So go back, do it again. Make sure that you understand what's really happening here, you know, our u and everything else. Okay? Great.